The affluent Prince William was recently put on the spot when a cheeky young boy unexpectedly asked him how much money he has in his bank account. The Prince of Wales was visiting a youth club in Manchester and meeting with local children when 11-year-old Amir Hassan bluntly inquired, "How much do you have in your bank account?" William was clearly caught off guard by the intrusive question but played it off well, wittily responding that he didn't know the exact amount. While the prince may have feigned ignorance, the truth is that he has amassed an immense fortune over the years from various sources. The bulk of William's wealth stems from the expansive Duchy of Cornwall estate, which he inherited after his grandmother Queen Elizabeth II passed away last year. William's father, now King Charles EU, had control over the duchy for decades as the eldest son and heir to the British throne. But once Charles became king, the massive estate was passed down to William, who is now entitled to utilize the duchy's substantial assets and profits as he sees fit. The Duchy of Cornwall was established in 1337 to provide income for the heir to the throne and comprises an astonishing portfolio of properties, farms, castles, woodlands, and commercial buildings spread out over 23 counties in Britain. In total, the duchy is valued at a mind-boggling £1.2 billion and is by far the largest private landholding in the United Kingdom. William now owns highly valuable assets like the Oval Cricket Ground in London, Highgrove House, Tintagel Castle, and large swaths of picturesque countryside in Cornwall and across Britain. The duchy also possesses over £345 million worth of commercial real estate in prime locations such as London and Milton Keynes. And William profits from the ever-growing popularity of vacationing within Britain through the duchy's network of holiday cottages. During the COVID-19 pandemic, demand for local getaways surged and bookings at the duchy's cottages reached record highs. Other profitable duchy ventures that bring in steady income for William include the thriving plant nursery situated in Cornwall. While William does not have unlimited freedom when utilizing the duchy's riches, he is entitled to collect the estate's annual surpluses and leverage these funds to finance his public, private, and charitable pursuits. Last year, William reportedly amassed a personal fortune amounting to a staggering £1.05 billion. This massive net worth stems predominantly from the inheritance of the Cornwall estate, along with other wealth accrued over his lifetime. In addition to the Duchy of Cornwall, William also inherited assets from his beloved mother Princess Diana when she passed away in 1997. The bulk of Diana's estate was split between William and his younger brother Prince Harry, further boosting William's already substantial net worth. Financial analysts predict that William may have received around £10 million from Diana's will after he turned 30 years old. Furthermore, William can expect to inherit additional wealth from his father King Charles someday. While the Duchy of Cornwall grants Charles an ample income of roughly £20 million per year, the king has many other valuable assets that may eventually pass to William. These include lavish properties such as Clarence House, extensive art collections, rare artifacts, and sizable investments. The recent financial report for the Duchy of Cornwall showed that Prince William's income has increased substantially in the past few years. In the 2020-21 fiscal year, William's total fortune from the duchy stood at around £21 million. But in just 2 years, that number jumped significantly to £24.6 million in 2021-22 and then up again to £26.3 million for the year ending March 2023. The Duchy of Cornwall reported a record high net surplus last year of £24 million. Out of that huge surplus, William had access to £12.8 million, while his father, King Charles, took £11.3 million for that year. Typically, William would receive the full £24 million surplus as his annual private income. However, his finances got a bit complicated this year because he became the heir apparent halfway through the financial year when Queen Elizabeth passed away and Charles ascended to the throne. The team at the Duchy of Cornwall asked that they retain a portion of the surplus this year for working capital purposes, which means the day-to-day operation and management of the estate. This was described as a one-off associated with the change in Dukes of Cornwall. So the duchy kept £6.9 million of the surplus, leaving William with a reduced income of £5.9 million for this unique transitional year. Even before this recent increase, Prince William was already extremely wealthy. When his mother, Princess Diana, passed away, he inherited around £10 million, and when the Queen Mother died in 2002, he received another £7 million inheritance. King Charles II has also seen his personal fortune take off. Estimates say his private wealth has soared to a massive £1.8 billion. The Duchy of Cornwall is just one source of his income. In the most recent financial report, William wrote a statement paying tribute to his father's work overseeing the duchy over so many decades. He said King Charles left an indelible mark and was passionate about driving change in how the estate was managed. William also described his own commitment to tackling issues like climate change and wanting to make a meaningful difference in his new role leading the duchy. William acknowledged taking on this responsibility at a challenging time for duchy tenants, businesses, and communities. He promised to support the duchy family through this transitional period and ensure the estate continues to evolve as a modern enterprise focused on sustainable stewardship. After the figures were published, the group Republic, which advocates for an elected head of state, urged Prince William to fully disclose his income and expenditures. They argue that the change in monarch and heir is no reason to reduce transparency. The group's CEO, Graham Smith, said William needs to provide a complete set of accounts for this financial year. He contended that as the recipient of public funds from the duchy, William should report how the income is spent. Smith also said that with duchy profits reaching a record £24 million, it's time to return the entire duchy to public ownership, so the revenues could be spent on local communities across the country rather than enriching the royal family. Last year, it was estimated that the total fortune of the royal family exceeded £20 billion, making them worth more than Britain's largest retailer Tesco. Prince William alone is now thought to be worth over £1 billion. King Charles II's personal fortune is estimated at around £900 million. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were said to be worth £20 million, although their potential earnings in the US could eventually make them billionaires. Princess Anne may be worth around £50 million, Prince Edward around £10 million, and Prince Andrew, even after his recent legal troubles, still retains a fortune of about £5 million. Estimates of the royal family's total cash, assets, and property range from £24 billion. But that includes Buckingham Palace and other royal residences worth £1.4 billion that technically belong to the monarch only in an official capacity. The Crown Estate, the property portfolio belonging to the reigning monarch, is valued at an astonishing £16.5 billion. So in summary, the House of Windsor keeps getting richer every year. The Duchy of Cornwall reported record revenues for Prince William exceeding £26 million. King Charles II has grown his private fortune to nearly £2 billion, and the total wealth of the royal family is estimated up to £24 billion, making them richer than Britain's top companies. As their incomes and fortunes swell, calls are growing for greater transparency and for royal revenues to be directed to public needs, rather than lining the pockets of the monarch and heirs. Prince William in particular, as the new Duke of Cornwall, faces pressure to open the books and ensure this public estate benefits local communities across Britain.
Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.